Is Bitcoin and really the entire cryptocurrency market getting ready for a September correction? Well, historically, September has been a month of correction and consolidation for the cryptocurrency markets. So in today's video, I'll be taking a look at that. Also, make sure to stick around until the end of the video because there has just been a major Ethereum bug that has caused a chain split. So I'll be breaking that down for you as well. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic that you would like to learn some more about, make sure you subscribe to the channel, gently tap on the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and click on the notification bell to put out a new video. By the way, every single week my team and I produce Wealth Mastery. This is a cryptocurrency investor report. Every single issue, you're going to get a deep dive altcoin report, top tier technical analysis, a step-by-step DeFi tutorial, the latest airdrops, the latest token sales, my portfolio, trending coin analysis, top tips, and much, much more. All for less than $10 a week. Click on the link down below where you can learn more about becoming a member today. Now let's go ahead and get into the charts. So this is Bitcoin on the daily charts. You can see our valleys just keep on rising up here, although we have run into some pretty serious resistance for Bitcoin right here at this $50,000 zone. Now, as I've been talking previously, this area, this purple box here, this is our critical area that Bitcoin needs to beat. We need to see the price closing above this area to really get supercharged for the run up to $100,000. So right now we see Bitcoin basically being wedged in between this area of resistance right here, $50,000, and this area of support right here, the 200-day simple moving average. Now it's very interesting watching all of this playing out because if we break out from here, then it is mega bull time. That 50K line is a very, very important line in the sand. But if we do break down here, and we'll talk about our September correction thesis here momentarily, then if we do break down here, well, there could be better buying opportunities coming up. You have to realize that if the price of Bitcoin actually comes down here, then it's breaking the uptrend. So if we actually get Bitcoin closing around $45,000, for example, that actually breaks our uptrend that has been in place. So that would then signal a likelihood for more downside in the price. As mentioned previously, our key areas of support to be watching, obviously the 200-day moving average, $46,000 right now. $42,500, that's also a very major area of previous resistance. Would like to see that flipped in support if we do start correcting in a more serious way. And of course, this purple box down here, which is another pretty important area. Basically, from $40,000 down to the upper $30,000 range would be a very interesting area to be accumulating more Bitcoin if we do get a correction actually coming in any kind of meaningful way. We can see that right now Bitcoin is consolidating under resistance. Now, usually this is actually a bullish thing when you start to see the price consolidating just under resistance in the way that it has been over the last few weeks. Well, that would indicate that the market's getting ready for that big kind of move. But that being said, we do keep getting rejected at this line of resistance, and it's been a pretty crazy few weeks for Bitcoin overall. And of course, our RSI just keeps on falling down. Our peaks keep coming in lower. In fact, this recent price move, so they had this beautiful retest of the 200-day moving average as a line of support right here. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful retest right there. Bounced back up, but we failed to get the kind of momentum that would actually push us beyond that. It basically bounced off support, smashed right into resistance, and it's coming back down. Our RSI didn't even get back up here to get in line with the rest of the falling peaks, as you can see right here. So we really, in order to say that the market is having a serious trend reversal, we need to see the RSI break above the green line here. And as that keeps moving down, the RSI will keep moving down. The green line will keep moving down with that RSI. But right now, that would mean we need to see the RSI break around 67. So this line to break up over the green line here to get us back in that mega bullish momentum. And obviously, like I said, if we break 50,000, that could happen pretty quickly. I think you'll start seeing a lot of, again, bulls hopping on board there, saying, hey, this is a potential major breakout. People are going to commit spot. People are going to commit on leverage, and they'll be riding that train. But right now, everybody's waiting to see what happens. We keep getting rejected at resistance. We have been finding support, but there is the potential, of course, always for more downside. So you'll see a lot of people waiting for either buying at a lower price or waiting to buy on the breakout. Now let's go ahead and actually discuss our theory here around September offering a possible correction for the price. Let's take the RSI off here because we do not need that. And let's throw on the 1 month charts here. So as you can see, so many times we get a corrective period in the month of September. Last September, what happened? We had a red candle. So during the month of September, we saw the price of Bitcoin decline by 18%. That was, of course, after a nice little reversal from March there. What happened the previous year? We saw the price of Bitcoin decline by 27%. Let's go back to 2018. What happened in 2018? We saw the price of Bitcoin decline by 16%. Let's go back to 2017. Mid-bull run. Couldn't be more bullish. Everything was mega, mega exciting. Everything was going to the moon. Everybody was a genius in getting rich. Bitcoin corrected by 40% in the month of September. Interesting. We did, of course, have 2016 not following that trend, and the price of Bitcoin went up by 10%. That was, of course, following a downtrend. You'll see that the corrections that we saw here in 2020, for example, looks a little more like what we're seeing right now, where we've had a positive uptrend, so a couple months of green candles, followed up by a red candle afterwards. Let's, of course, go back a little farther here. September 2015, minor gains once again. So we can see the price of Bitcoin only moved up by a few percent during that time, up 8% in the month of September 2015. Let's go back to 2014. We saw a price drop of 25% during that month for Bitcoin. Let's go back to 2013. We saw a price correction of 14% in the month of September. Now, 2013, perhaps, of course, the most interesting parallel, because much like we have been talking, 2013 was our double bubble, double pump, double bull run cycle, which may be exactly what we're looking at right now for Bitcoin. And of course, the wider crypto market, because if Bitcoin tanks, the rest of the crypto markets are going to see a correction right along with that, because Bitcoin still is the tip of the spear and is the king of the markets. So what we saw back here in 2013, massive run up, huge correction, reversal for 2 months straight. 2 months straight of just, yes, new paradigm of money. And then a cool off month, just a cool off month. And then, of course, absolute blow off insanity. Now, what would we need to have that kind of catalyst to see this kind of blow-off craziness would be something like a Bitcoin ETF being approved, which is going to happen sooner than later. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be a futures-backed Bitcoin ETF, which is junk, but the market will probably still react pretty well to it. We obviously want to have physical-backed Bitcoin ETFs that are backed one for one by actual Bitcoin, not by junk paper contracts from the CME. This is how Wall Street manipulates the markets, and we don't want to see that happen, but that's what's probably going to happen first, unfortunately. But regardless, it will likely be a major price catalyst. The markets will look very favorably upon such a product coming into the market. So look, this is historical data. History does not repeat. It does often rhyme. Why do we usually see these consolidation or correction periods in September? A lot of possible reasons, but this is what has happened historically. most Septembers either see a correction or a very mild price raise. 2021 could be totally different. The price of Bitcoin could spike by 50%. But historically, our likelihood is that we're going to see September being a bit of a blah month. Of course, time will tell. We'll see by the end of September how that plays out. And look, that's not Lark being bearish or anything like this. This is just the reality of the markets. We have massive pumps, then we have cool-off periods followed by massive pump, cool-off period. Sometimes we have longer periods of cooling down, but we do get these corrections coming in. And so far, during this entire run for Bitcoin, we have not actually had what I would say any kind of serious price correction actually come in for Bitcoin here. We've seen some small corrections coming in, but nothing major. So we'll see if we do get some more serious price corrections coming in over the next month. But remember, those are buying opportunities. I do not yet see the bull run being over. I really feel like this is that potential 2013 situation where we get our double mega market pump coming in. So watch this space. I'll, of course, keep you updated as we move through the month of September. Now, the good news, I just want to point out real quick, one final thought before we move on to the Ethereum news. The good news here is that for all of those blah Septembers, the end of the year often tends to be pretty dramatic in one way or another. So you can see here the end of 2020, very dramatic price appreciation. The end of 2019 was kind of a bit blah, but the end of 2018 was dramatically bad. The end of 2017, dramatically awesome. The end of 2016 also saw some pretty big price appreciation. The end of 2015 also saw a very big pump. The end of 2014, unfortunately, was a dump. And the end of 2013 was a mega pump. So Q4 tends to usually be pretty dramatic for Bitcoin, often to the upside, although sometimes not. Now let's talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum has suffered a split. So there's been a software bug. It's affected more than half of the network. So what the heck happened? So a bug on Ethereum, most popular software client, Geth, has created a fork in the network. So the Ethereum blockchain was processing two chains simultaneously. Of course, that brings up lots of fears. Oh my God, there's gonna be a double spend attack, and that hasn't happened. There has been no double spend attack. Right, so this is always the big fear anytime these kind of say, oh, there's going to be a double spend attack, it's going to all end. There's been no double spend attack. Everything's fine. I think that's one of the really most important things to realize. This was a known bug. This wasn't some big surprise. Oh my gosh, what was this? This was a known bug. This has been known since the 18th of August. They pushed out an update on Tuesday the 24th saying, hey guys, you gotta go and update your freaking nodes, man. Let's get on it. Otherwise, we're gonna run into issues, which of course is exactly what happened. Now, do you need to be worried? No. And here's why. You see, because if your average node operator, and there's a lot of node operators around the world. If your average node operator missed the update, unfortunately, some of them did. Obviously, enough of them did. If your average node operator missed the update, well, the good news is the people who are predominantly in charge of the network have caught the network upgrade. So we've seen the miners actually making sure to do that, which is very, very important. So most of the miners were already updated. This is obviously something that's going to be very, very important in proof of stake Ethereum, which is where I think you'll see the staking pools really pulling their weight because they will be updated. Whereas your average dude, you're on holiday, you're not checking Twitter, I don't know, you just miss it, and all of a sudden, boop, something happens and, you haven't updated your software. So the miners updated their software, and obviously how the consensus works in these systems is that the longest chain is the one that wins. Right now we have the correct chain, the one without the bug, being the longest chain because we had enough people who had updated and moved over. So everything's fine. Ethereum's continuing on as usual, it's all good. So not only, of course, did miners basically they were on top of their game and had all of their software updated, we also had major service providers updating their software as well. Infura, they updated their software. The big exchanges, they updated their software. So, MetaMask, which runs through Infura, that was fine. Most major Ethereum wallets also using these networks. So everything basically continued on as normal, but we did have this chain split scenario where a big enough percentage of nodes got off into the wild for a little while. Now, you might say, gosh, Lark, this really means that Ethereum is totally broken and it's going to go to zero. No, that's not the case. These kinds of situations, they happen very, very frequently in crypto. And usually when they happen, a much bigger deal is made out of it than really needs to be. I mean, this wasn't a 51% attack where somebody overtook the network. There was no double spends that happened. This kind of chain split, well, a bit dramatic, does not end a cryptocurrency, and these kind of events are pretty common in crypto. In fact, it's not the first time that Ethereum has had these kind of situations. We had a relatively similar, let's say, situation happen November last year. Surprise hard fork. Yeah, it was fun. It happens. It happens. You might think, oh, bad. There's more evidence that Ethereum's bad, Lark. No, because you know what? This happens to basically every blockchain that people are using and testing in the wild, and these things actually battle harden the blockchains moving forward because these things do get pushed in the wild. They do get checked, sometimes aggressively, dramatically, but that's what happens. And it's not a reason to freak out. You need to understand how these consensus mechanisms work. And if you understand how these consensus mechanisms work, there's not really a reason to get too excited about these kind of events happening. Although some people will, of course, weaponize these sort of events to say, hey, look, that's a reason to not invest in that coin and come invest in my blockchain instead. But look, everybody's had their issues. What about Solana? You guys remember last year when Solana stopped making blocks for a while? That was fun. It happens. It happens, man. What about Polkadot? Remember when Polkadot stopped producing blocks for a while? That's, that happened. You guys remember when Stellar froze the network for a few hours because nodes went offline? Hey, that happens. Similar thing happened to Cardano a few months ago where it stopped producing blocks for about 25 minutes or so. So these weren't chain splits. These are different situations. But I'm just bringing these up to say, hey, look, come on, man. Things happen with software. You have humans writing software. No software, no matter how good, how many devs are working on it, is perfect. There's always something that's going to happen. Now, you might say, but Lark, come on. We have an immaculate conception here. We have Bitcoin, which was perfect forever, never had any issues, completely perfect. Well, that's wrong. That's just wrong. I'm sorry. Look, even our big old orange coin, it's had its issues too over the years, and things happen. Again, it's not about thinking that things are never going to happen to software, because that's, I think, an unrealistic point of view. Of course, things are going to happen to software. This is what happens. The real test is how teams react, how the system reacts when this happens. See what happened with Ethereum. The system reacted as intended, and enough people had upgraded to the new software that it was not an issue, right? But you have to keep, of course, up on the updates, which most major providers do. Your wallets, your exchanges, your miners, your proof of stake validating pools, all these guys keep up their software up to date because it's very, very important. But 2 years ago, or sorry, this was revealed last year. It actually happened in 2018, but researchers kept a major Bitcoin bug secret for 2 years in order to prevent people trying to attack the network. Of course, it took them 2 years to fix it, but that happened. That was recent. That was last year that they revealed, like, hey guys, by the way, we fixed it now, but there was this really, really bad bug in Bitcoin for quite a while. It's fixed now. That's great, obviously. Things get better over time. And of course, who can forget the time that 184 billion Bitcoin were printed? That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. You may not know it. This is a bit of Bitcoin history from back in the day. August 15th, 2010, Bitcoin encountered a massive, massive bug. Fixed very quickly. But this bug allowed somebody to print up, extra 184 billion Bitcoin. Nice. Nice. Solid, man. Solid. That was a good move. Things happen in blockchains. And every blockchain that has done anything has had some kind of issue. Not saying that to say, guys, don't, Ethereum's perfect. Ethereum's not perfect, but no blockchain's perfect. Code made by people will never be perfect. And the system did work correctly, which I think is the most important thing. And you don't need to worry because all of your major exchanges or wallets, all that stuff, they've already upgraded for you. So you don't need to go out and do anything. Just keep on keeping on. Keep on using Ethereum. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, your question for today. What do you think about this thesis that September could see a correction coming in for Bitcoin? Do you think, well, historically we've seen that happen. Maybe we're going to see it happening again, $50,000 being strong resistance. Or are you on the side of, come on, man, market's way too bullish right now. It's time for Pump City. Numbers only going to go up from here. Curious to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.